one gentleman. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. Got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Hey, it's going to get back in rhythm here on a Monday. Hadn't been in studio since July 10th, nearly 2 weeks. Got a lot of mail that I had to sift through when I got back to the house. A few projects I need to start working on. Kind of felt like you a couple weeks ago. I know you were out for a little bit. You're doing some shows sporadically here and there, but once you come back, it always just seems like there's a heavy heap to get to when you're out of town for a little bit. So got work projects, got house projects. Going to try and get the most of them done at the end of July.
Well, welcome to home ownership. You know, that's the way it works, and at least most of your work's not waiting on you when you get back. So that's good as well. But yeah, it's good to be back in the studios together for the first time in a few days. That's for sure. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and even the Brinkley Model Z, and they all come with a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Seek, explore, discover with our friends at Wheels RV.
Got 23 things at the house that I have to buy or fix that I've added up, and as I continue to look at things around, there's probably more. Most notably, a new air filter and wasp spray. There are 2 wasp nests that have.
Yeah, I got to buy some too.
That is.
Got one underneath the rail of the deck that. You got to get those early of a morning or late of an evening is when you need to do it.
To spray them?
Yeah. You don't want to do it in the middle of the day.
Why? Elaborate, because I have no idea. Help me
Elaborate
on that. Or enlighten me, excuse me. Enlighten me on that, because I don't know why.
Because they're, I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, they're asleep at that time. They're just less active. If you have a hive like that, particularly bee, they're just less. Of course, you don't want to kill bees. You want to kill wasp, and don't mess with the honeybees, but they're just less active.
Are honeybees endangered? Or you just want them for like like the pollination and stuff like that?
They don't kill those all.
Yeah, well, the wasps, I don't think they do anything good for your house whatsoever. They're just a nuisance. So got to knock those out. Got some other tasks that I have to do. And when it gets back or whatever, that my uncle said spray it and then kind of walk back a little bit, because there is the pushback that you might receive from trying to kill their home. There's one up high.
You needed advice on how to do it?
Well, he just told me we were walking around, and he's like, I didn't even notice it. He was like, hey, you got some wasp up there, and it was kind of in the corner top of my house, and then there's one on the front side of the house that I had noticed that I just hadn't got to at this point. But I put that at the top of my list because I really don't want to get. I hadn't gotten stung by the wall.
Do you have a termite and pest contract?
The termite has already been looked at. Pest wise, no. There doesn't seem to be.
You need you a pest contract. Then you need to just come out and deal with stuff like that.
If it gets to be where I can't handle it myself, then I'll probably end up doing that. But for now, it seems to be pretty low on the amount of wasps. But if it gets
well, if you've got 23 things in a wasp nest, and air filters are the biggest issues you've got no issues.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, there's nothing really too wrong with the house, but there are certain things that I've haven't had to deal with since took over this home ownership, but I'd like to get to with this season. And that's, again, level priority. We'll see how it goes out these next couple of weeks. I know Sam Pittman.
Wait till your taxes go up, and then your insurance doubles. Hey, just wait on those things to happen.
I thought taxes went. I thought you got to, not expense, but I thought you got to write off a lot of stuff with the house.
Property taxes?
I know about property tax.
No, I'm talking about wait till your property taxes go up.
Yeah.
That'll thrill you.
It's not going to be.
Wait till your homeowner's insurance renews next year.
Just
and you
doubles.
You get about, it won't double in the first year, but you'll get a modest 25% increase.
Well, I was barely here for 2 weeks, and I already got like a $90 electric bill, and I've had
that's nothing.
I've had my AC on 79 for the past week and a half since I've been gone.
Get that thing down around 70. Enjoy it.
No, well, I'm saying when I've been gone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let the house enjoy it.
No, that's not after the 90 degrees. So again, trying to work through some things, and any advice that you can give me here on the Morning Rush will be welcomed at 877-377.
Get your wallet out. That's my advice.
Well, it keeps on coming. It sure seems like. I do have a question for our audience this morning. As I came back home, and I had to get the mail out of my mailbox. That was a lot because it was a week and a half's worth. I walked out in my boxers at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I wonder for the many men that listen to our program and females, if this is something you do. I don't know how many females are walking out of their undergarments out in the public. This is more of a male
now,
thing.
Is this a mailbox that's at the curb, or is this up near the house?
It's like right in front of the front porch, basically.
Oh, that ain't
so I asked our audience this morning at 877-377-6963, what is the latest time of the day, weekend or week that you can keep out and walk out in just your boxers? No, it's just boxers. I don't think there's a time limit for that matter. But
it wasn't like you walked to the curb out to the mailbox.
No, it's just you walk out in your boxers. But I was talking to a Morning Rush listener about it this past week. His wife gets mad when he walks outside in just his boxers. And I guess that's just a male thing we like to do. And I wondered if that was something that you have to deal with at your house, if that's something you don't care about, you just do regardless, or if you don't like going outside with your boxers to begin with. But I just I didn't think about it. I'm living by myself, so I don't really care. But for some, it's a bad look for the neighbors, or some neighbors would be turned off by that or whatever. I just thought, I wonder what our audience thinks about this. What time is acceptable, or is there a time? Can you walk out any time for that matter? I think it's an anytime thing, personally.
Till the cops show up. And then you just go from there. Well, we are... And you wonder why single.
We're 38 days out from Razorback football, I believe, and we're going to catch up more with Sam Pittman and some of the stuff he had to say. Brandon Marcel is going to join us at 7 a.m. We'll react to that some in the 8 o'clock hour as well. Had a chance to catch up with him at SEC Media Days. Predicted order of finish has come out for the SEC. No surprise to see Georgia at the top. Wasn't surprised about that at all. A little interesting to see how it shook out with the rest of the Southeastern Conference. Texas, kind of like I thought, is winding up at number 2. Alabama's at 3. Ole Miss is at 4. And then, again, it drops off pretty heavily after that. Any surprise when you got that email this weekend?
No. I mean, all the teams that, I don't want to say my ballot matched up completely with everything, but, everything was pretty much in the same tier or order. I had Arkansas a little bit higher. They were 14th in all the ballots put together. Georgia ran away with the number 1 votes in the championship votes.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, there weren't any surprises. And the teams I had in the middle, if you broke it out in thirds or fourths even, I had them in the same buckets as where the ballot broke out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty similar to what a lot of people thought. Again, hopefully it shakes out a lot differently with Arkansas being selected at 14th this year. But that's kind of what you expected, in that 13 or 14 range, right in front of Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, and then right behind the South Carolina Gamecocks. So, again, what's important on this is the only thing that matters in terms of opinion is what your head coach and what the team thinks about it within their own locker room. There's been plenty of times over the course of Razorback football history you've been highly touted, and it didn't go that well this season, and then you've been picked below average, I should say, and things turned out okay. So we'll see what happens in 2024.
Yep, now you're hoping to be that surprise team. Everybody's trying to figure out who's going to come out of the bottom half of the pack. We'll wait and see on who that is. Brought to you by our friends at The Fence Man. If you need a quality fence around your home or business, our buddy Sean was in here Friday. He can help you out with that, whether it's a 6-foot privacy fence around the back of your yard, or whether you need an industrial installation for a project you're in charge of at work. They can help you with anything on those scales or in between. Custom projects, no problem. Full welding shop, and, of course, great fence builders that know how to build any kind of custom needs that you have, or just the simplest of projects you might need as well. 782-3936 is their number. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We'll have to check in with Sean how many fish he caught. More of the Morning Rush when we return.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG. Bring your own guts.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have won it.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Monday morning to Friday at 5, man.
Good morning. I listen to you guys every morning 5 days a week.
Like he was calling it a strike. He called the ball. Next pitch, White hits a drive to deep left center field. There it goes. Another home run for Hudson White. You can't slow him down. Absolutely amazing watching Hudson White just blitz the baseball now. An 11-game hitting streak. That's his 5th home run out of 6 for the year during this hitting streak.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush Podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, so we got a few responses from the first segment about some house-changing items. We also got a thought or two on the boxer situation. We'll touch on that and then what happened at Royal Troon this weekend and in Cooperstown at the Baseball Hall of Fame.
You know, if you're starting your week off with a plumbing issue, our friends at West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services can be there for you to help with water, sewer, gas, grease lines, hot water tanks that aren't working right or have went out. Whatever the plumbing issue you may have this morning, call the experts at West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services. 479-646-5151. They've been doing it since 1993, and they're super thankful for all their local customers, and they're there for you for whatever you need. So whether it's water, sewer, gas, or grease lines, call the experts at West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services. 479-646-5151.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Troy Charleston says, I don't wear boxers. I'm a runner, so it's always boxers, briefs for me. Even when I'm chilling at home, I don't walk around in my underwear, T-shirt, and shorts. Now, you have kids and a wife at the house. Do you ever walk around with just boxers, or is that only when you're home solo?
Rarely home solo, so no, my kids are too old for that now.
Text out of the 479. Put on some pants, please, Ty.
Yes,
no one
I
wants
agree.
to see you in your boxers. It's boxers for sleep. It's boxer briefs, kind of like Troy when I work out and stuff. You were talking about homeowners insurance. This is for a bid in Little Rock. I got a notice from my county assessor telling me my real estate tax is going up on my house, and my homeowners insurance has nearly gone up $1,000 this year, Tommy.
Yep.
$1,000. Ugh, that's gross. Sandy and Rogers suggest getting an app and a thermostat nest that shows humidity. It needs to say below 60% on the app. Can you change your air conditioning temperature on your phone, or do you just have to do it there?
No, I can do that.
You can do that there. Brad in Salesville, back to the wasp situation. There's wasp nests in front of my house, in the back of my house. Brad says they're just more ticked off because they're hot, Tommy.
Yeah.
That's why they're mad.
So am I.
So they won't be as angry, it sounds like, if you get them at night or in the morning, like Tommy was saying. All right, Royal Troon this weekend. Congrats to Xander Schauffele, who gets it done.
Brilliant from Santa Schauffele.
A bogey-free round of 65 down the stretch. Tommy, he wins the PGA Championship, he wins the Open, and every single major this year, won by an American, which is pretty cool. You were telling me before the show, you got to go back, 42 years last time
1982, Tom Watson won the middle two. Raymond Floyd won the PGA Championship, was played last. I'm just remembering the graphic they put up during the telecast. But, yeah, 1982, since the Americans swept all four majors in a calendar year. So a good feat there. I don't know that bodes well or means much more for for Olympic play or a Ryder Cup down the road. We're still such a ways off from that, but yeah, great success individually in the majors this year in tough conditions. Billy Horschel came back from the field. Lowry dropped back. I thought Justin Rose's story and the way he had to qualify to get there and then to be in contention was a great story, but he came up short. But a great performance in the Open. So Royal Troon held up, and I thought 9 under par. That's about what I want to see in a major.
So fill me in on the Justin Rose story, because I saw him emotional, but I didn't necessarily hear the backstory. You mentioned the qualifying aspect.
Way to qualify to get in the field. Yeah. So I mean, so to go through all the steps and jump through all the hoops, and then to have a chance to win it on the back nine on Sunday. He didn't, obviously, but put himself in a position for a guy that was at a time amongst the best in the game for a period. To have to go through all that, so essentially he had to go out just like you would in the U.S. Open here and go through the steps of qualifying. He did not get an automatic entry into the field.
Is it just because he hadn't played well lately, or what's up?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm asking you. Acting,
yeah.
Okay. There's certain golf things that I just don't know. That's why I have you here. Yeah. Ask you on stuff like that. Well, Xander got asked an important question.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I didn't know. Again, there's certain exemptions. I know there's certain things that he has. I didn't know if he'd won one before.
He
I just
exhausted all that. So to go through all that, was impressive. So
Xander got asked an important question. after the win, and he answered, I thought, pretty funny.
How special is it to get your hands on this famous trophy, the Claret Jug?
I just can't wait to drink out of it.
He just can't wait to drink. Whether it's the Stanley Cup or hockey, the Claret Jug, there's other different trophies for not just individual sports, but also team sports as well. That seems to be something that's common. I would drink a cold Michelob Ultra out of that. I've heard some that would pour like whiskey or something into there, but I guess to each his own. But I thought that was pretty funny the way he answered that question.
And that's probably the second most international trophy. I would say that the World Cup would still be number one in the most coveted international goals. I mean, and I'm separating the Olympics and a gold medal because there's so many events. I mean, there's a lot of there's many gold medals in many events. So let's move the Olympics into its own category. But you've got the World Cup, then I think the Open Championship is probably the second most international event, and then you go from there. I mean, you could put the Ryder Cup maybe in there. I don't know what else would fit it, but you think about the Stanley Cup, it's a North American thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the Lombardi Trophy, it's an American thing. So, I mean, when you think about true international competition, the Open Championship, in my opinion, is up as close to the top as you can get.
Up to the top of the list. I just, again, to see the Americans get it done and have, like, all of them, you have to. I know everyone's not the biggest fan of Bryson, but there's not really many people that don't like Xander Schauffele, right? I mean, you follow this more than I do, but maybe Bryson did him some help a couple weeks ago, but there didn't seem to me like backlash from him winning or whatsoever.
And Xander winning 2 majors this year helps, obviously, his place and his legacy in golf. Bryson DeChambeau did not follow up at all with a great performance. So, I mean, it was, even went as far as some saying that his U.S. Open win was perhaps a fluke.
Do you like how the Open is, and obviously it's across the pond, so the timing's different. Do you like how it ends a lot sooner than the other majors where it's late afternoon, or do you dislike that? Where do you fall in line of where
my favorite is West Coast Championship or major golf. I mean, like they're at Pebble Beach playing on a because it happens in prime time here. That's what I like about it. But that's my favorite. I like the Open because you get to watch it of a morning, but this is around noon, 1 o'clock before this thing finishes up. So, I mean, yesterday morning it was kind of raining across most of the area, so it was good to kind of doze and nap. And
those conditions, man,
they didn't tee off till about 7 o'clock yesterday morning. All right, the leaders didn't at least. So no, it was. I always appreciate that, and golf kind of takes a back seat for a little while. The Olympics coming up, we'll get a little bit more golf conversation. All right, that's where we begin. Chuck's not going to be with us this morning. He's out today, but will be back with us on Thursday. We got a lot of conversations from last week we'll get to as well. We are brought to you by our friends at Hardee's. Be sure and stop in for a biscuit this morning. Get your day and your week started off with the best biscuit you'll find at Hardee's. And also be sure to get ready for our football trip of a lifetime. This is the 19th year more qualifying tie coming up this week. Your chance to see the Cowboys and the Eagles later this fall. All you got to do is get by Hardee's and see us this week. We'll have more details. If you can eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you're an automatic qualifier for the 19th annual football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye! Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you have a great time. Going fishing? Jelco has one of the largest selections of fishing equipment and gear for your day on the water. Taking a vacation? Jelco has a great selection of casual shirts, shorts, and comfortable shoes to make your vacation one to remember. Fall is not far away, so start getting your bows and guns ready for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for all season. Have a great summer. From Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
It takes a guy with a lot of confidence to say, yeah, I'll follow Nick Saban. Because it's not like he was poor. out there coaching at Washington. It's not like he wondered how he was going to make his mortgage payment next month. I mean, he agreed to take that task, and his every movement is going to be compared to Saban's. And my guess would be, in all sincerity, Saban's a decent man, and he understands coaches, and he understands football programs, and he's smart enough to know that he really doesn't need to be around there right now. It's not fair to Kalen DeBoer for Saban to be in that building. The shadow's big enough without him actually being there.
All right, so like Tommy said last segment, Chuck, not with us today. He's going to be back with us on Thursday. We'll get some more of his thoughts on what occurred in SEC Media Days last week. One of the things that your head football coach, not Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, your head football coach was talking about was embracing the hog. And I think we can have some fun with this coming up a little bit. How you envision embracing the hog. Doesn't just have to be with Arkansas football, but anything in life. We'll come back to that as we continue on here at Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. One of the things I appreciate, and I think you will enjoy, is the personal touch you get at Wheels RV. Chris and Lee J and their team always do a great job of making you feel welcome. They provide you a great selection of the top brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley. During the process of selecting and purchasing your next RV, they make it really comfortable. They provide you a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Plus, they got a award-winning parts and service and body shop to help you with any need you have once you've made that purchase, and they're always there to stand behind everything that they do. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Got a couple texts we're going to get to as well, but first we got a Bob who's in Hot Springs listening this morning. Bob, welcome into the program. How are you?
Good morning to you, fellas. Bob from Hot Springs here, long-time caller, first-time listener. But speaking of Royal Troon, I wanted to also bring up that your friend of the show, Rick B., actually got to go to it on Saturday. So Rick B., he's also a neighbor of y'all in Barling, I believe.
Yeah, I know Rick. Known Rick a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he posted some pictures there with Rory. He's hitting a shot or something like that. I think he and the lovely Dee were taking a 25-year anniversary trip or something like that. So, but one of our listeners, our good friends at the Royal Troon up there. So, one other piece of news I wanted to pass on. I have a daughter, Allison. Sometimes she calls herself Freddie. She's the girl with the Must Bus tattoo that she got. She has gotten her first real job after college, but she went to Vermont.
Jeez.
So we drove her up there. You know how in Wally World you get the windshield wiper fluid that's 32 degrees, and then they have an option later on in the year for 0 degrees?
Yeah.
Well, they sell it for minus 20 up there.
Ooh.
So I'm sure we'll be hearing from her soon.
Did you at least get some good syrup? Did you at least get some good syrup to bring back?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. After driving cross country with a Dalmatian and a cat and a U-Haul and the typical things you do as a dad. So, but just saying hi to y'all, and I got some tickets in 123 for the Texas game, Tommy, if I can get you back with the Texas fans. So, but we'll talk later. We'll talk later, okay?
All right, Bob, thanks. Yeah, Vermont, beautiful part of the country, I hear. I've never been up in the Northeast, but would love to go. I hear the leaves in the fall are maybe the best in the country there.
That is a change of scenery to go from Arkansas and Hot Springs and Fayetteville all the way up to the Northeast and Vermont. That would be quite a seismic culture shock for someone that's taking their job out of college. So good luck to Freddie.
You ever been in that part of the world?
New York, I guess, is the...
That's not really Vermont. I mean, I neither. I've been to New York, but, you know...
I mean, what do you consider that part of the world outside?
Well, I mean you got to go north of New York. I mean, up that... further north, you know, up that direction.
Yeah,
but,
not been. New York's the furthest, I guess. New York and D.C. are probably the furthest east that I've ever been on that side of the country. All right, so Sam Pittman had a lot to say this past week, and one of the things that least national people have had some fun with, is this statement.
Embrace the hog.
Embrace the hog. Paul at Fayetteville texting in already this morning said how he's embracing the hog. Every time he does, he gets hit with a tusk. I don't know what that is in reference.
So what does that mean, embrace the hog?
Here's what I took away.
I mean, anyway, and that he said that was their theme for the year. Now, I don't know if that's internally or he put it in kind of that context.
Yeah.
And then that was the last mention of it, right?
Kind of did at the beginning of his opening, not the beginning of his opening sentence,
right.
The beginning of his speech, but
no,
it
wasn't a continuing theme throughout his time at the main stage.
Which gives us leeway to dictate what it means to you. And you can call or text us at 877-377-6963. I, personally, in the next 38 days, am not going to eat pig of any sort. I got 5 steaks yesterday. That's all I'm going to eat each night. Again, I've kind of changed my diet where I just eat one meal, at least during the week. And then weekends are all hell breaks loose. But I am not going to eat anything pig-related for the next 38 days till the season starts.
No bacon?
I'm going to stay away from it. I'm embracing the hog. I'm embracing my fellow mascot and man by not eating anything pig-related.
So I got an inch and a half pork chop in my fridge waiting, just thawing out right now. So double bone-in pork chop. So I'm not going to embrace it in that way, no.
Well, it's just like, hey, you can say embrace the hog about anything. It's like, hey, wife, can I golf this weekend?
Embrace the hog.
Hey, $100 bar tab.
Embrace the hog.
I mean, you just kind of it fits with everything. It's like woo pig. It's like roll tide. It's like these phrases, and it's not going to be as popular as woo pig. I know roll tide they say that after everything. It is wild. I mean, woo pig suey. I mean, there's kind of a collection of Arkansas themes and phrases, but Alabama fans seem to say roll tide after every little theme that is daily occurrences in their life. But how are you gonna?
How am I going to embrace the hog? Well, it won't be cutting pork out completely, like you've suggested this morning. I think when he asks you to embrace the hog, he means reach for your wallet. I think that's what he probably means. Can you reach for your wallet and give us a little NIL money? I don't know that that's how I will embrace the hog, but I think that's maybe one of the hidden meanings there of what he said.
I was waiting on this text. Daniel in Uniontown says, that's what I tell my wife. Embrace the hog.
Embrace the hog.
It was only 7 minutes into the segment.
Is that his Harley?
Yes, something like that.
I think this is a season where he's wanting unity and people to rally around and, be in a positive frame of mind. That phrase could be taken, and I don't know that it was meant to be interpreted as deeply as maybe we're going into this morning.
Well, it's like it's tailgating this fall. Honey, do we really have to get there 10 hours before the game?
Embrace the hog.
Embrace the hog.
Yeah.
That is often the discussion and disagreement amongst households in the state of Arkansas is how long do you actually have to get here? And now I will say this. I have met some female friends of mine that want to get there prior to their husband or boyfriend wanting to get there. It's rare and it's seldom, but it does happen.
Marry that woman.
Yes, that is very true on that. But it does happen. But oftentimes it's the male that wants to get there several hours before the female wants to get there. And you just have to, again, echo the phrase that Sam Pittman just said, which is
embrace the hog.
A couple more texts on this. Like you said, Tommy, Rick says that Sam Pittman wants us to embrace the team. I think that's part of it. Woo Pig Steven sounds more like swine decline than to embracing the hog. I'm sure that Ruskin and Zach will use that phrase if things don't go well this year. Let's see. Piggy Smalls still likes turn that damn jukebox on better than embrace the hog. I hadn't heard that in a while. Didn't hear that at all last year. You would like to hear Sam Pittman not only talk about drinking cold beer, but also turning that damn jukebox on again. You got to win. Maybe they did after the Florida game, but there really wasn't another win on this schedule last year that led them to turning on that said jukebox.
Nope. And, those are the fun things that you get to do when you win. And, no, that's exactly right. You need, that would be embracing the hog. So I just wonder if we'll hear it again. Embrace the hog. Will that be a phrase we hear again?
2024. Hog Mafia says he is married to that supposed woman that we were alluding to, Tommy. So apparently his wife wants to get there several hours before actual kickoff and whatnot. So let's see.
I'm here for the tailgate, baby.
The UAB game is It's an afternoon one, right? If I
7
remember that.
o'clock.
Oh,
right?
it's a night game. Okay, I couldn't remember
You
what
think
time
they're
it
gonna play
is.
an afternoon game on a Thursday?
UAB, not UAPB.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard UAPB.
That game.
I'm
that
sorry.
Game's
Yeah,
at-
3.
that-
I think it's 3 o'clock.
That
I mean,
game's
I've got
at
the schedule.
6:30.
Right.
The UAB game I thought was in the afternoon. You can double check me
I've
on
got
that.
it right here.
But what is the approximate time? We'll obviously be
UAB is at 3:15.
Okay, so we'll be doing Arkansas game day this fall. We're doing that from the stadium shop, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be doing it. We'll get there about 10, or I guess 9:30. Start the show at 10.
Right.
And then, but what time is the approximate time that you should get there for the season Fayetteville opener?
8 o'clock.
8 in the
AM.
morning. How many ads? What is that? 4 plus, so about 7 hours prior to kickoff.
Setting up a tailgate. I mean, if you're going to do an elaborate tailgate, it's too much work to only do it for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if I'm going to go in, set up the tailgate, maybe even cook something on site, I want to get there. I don't want to be messing with a lot of heavy traffic. I want to get to my spot. I want to be able to back in, get set up. Because here's the thing. It takes so much work to set these things up. Get your tables, to get, your crock pots going, and whatever it is you do. That, man, by the time you spend an hour or two getting that ready, you need another 2 or 3 hours just to chill. And then you got an hour of putting everything up so you can go to the stadium. So, no, I mean, 6-7 hours to me is like a minimum.
Well, it sounds like by Tommy's answer,
a lot of work that goes in there.
Yeah.
Embrace the hog.
I mean, that's an embrace the hog type of answer right there. Now, if the game starts at 3:15 and you say we can get there by 1:30, you're not.
You're just going to the game.
Yeah, you're not embracing the hog at that point. Well, evidently, NCAA football is not fully embraced the hog. They pronounced Isaiah Satania's name wrong. We need to get Big C in here. He's doing some work next door. We need to get Big C in here to verify this. Now, have you set up the battle with Zach and him at Razorback Stadium? Have you cleared that with Hunter just yet?
I don't think I'm waiting. I think Hunter Yurichek's on vacation. He's yet to call me back.
Okay. Big C, you've been playing this nonstop lately. Did they butcher Isaiah Satania's name in the new video game?
I haven't noticed it, but that could very well be true. I haven't played with Arkansas a whole lot.
Who have you been playing
with? Because like Chris Fowler and Herbstreit are the announcers, right?
Correct.
So I'm sure it's all AI based, right?
No, they did this. Have you seen those?
No, I know they did the words, but then AI has to take over to put the words in the right order.
Yeah.
I'm saying when you're playing the game.
Yeah, but they spent I forget the amount of hours. I want to say.
I know it's their voices.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 600 hours they spent voicing. It was
It's
like
a great
something.
game.
It was something insane. The amount of time that they spent voicing the NCAA football stuff, but. Hey, they're probably getting paid a pretty lucrative sum to do
I
that.
just want a royalty. Pay me a little bit of money and then give me a percentage. You know how much money they probably made? Who owns that, by the way? Is that EA Sport? I don't know who owns the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a Microsoft? I don't know who makes it.
It's
don't know.
EA.
EA?
I think it's EA, yeah.
I'm asking because I don't know.
The EA Sports, I'm assuming, unless that's a cover for something, but I'm assuming it's EA Sports. By the way, speaking of Microsoft, we good now? Is everything back to normal? Didn't seem to really.
Other than I think we had a little snafu here in the middle of the night at the radio station Friday morning, I didn't really have a lot of snafus. Now, I wasn't traveling. I know that I was reading reports, those leaving the Republican convention that had to drive to Chicago to catch a plane. That's an hour away. It was a mess. I was reading our friends, the Everetts. They were trying to travel to Ireland and had 16 flight changes trying to get
16.
there. 16. Yeah, it was a mess. So, I mean, if you were traveling on Friday, it was a nightmare. But
golly.
I didn't have a lot of disruption in my just everyday life.
16 flight changes.
Yeah.
That is, we had a couple this not last week, but the weekend before in Tampa, but I can't imagine going through 16. The snafu to Madison, Wisconsin, I think was 4 or 5, but man, when you hit double digits, credit to them for persevering. Did they get there?
Yeah.
Did you see if they got there?
I just saw it on Facebook. But
okay. Apparently, Michael in Cave Springs, Tommy, by the way, says they say Sutegna is how they pronounce Isaiah's last name. Sutegna, which isn't
wrong.
terrible, but apparently they mispronounce it like that.
Well, my son hadn't come upstairs,
complaining just yet.
about it.
Have you played your son yet?
I don't even know how to play, man.
That's what the good father-son bonding is for.
he does. He gets online and starts playing with his buddies that are on the football team with him. I guess we could do that. He'd have to teach me, though. I mean, I don't know what the buttons do. Listen, I am not a gamer.
It's better. It's better playing a football game than a game that is just like killing your friends back and forth. That's probably the better. As a father, my dad never liked when we played shooting games back in the day. To be honest,
the words and the language sometimes I hear coming out of that room, I just have to turn my head. I don't know what it is about video games that makes you want to, swear like a sailor. But I mean, way too young to be saying some of the things I hear coming out of that room. So
come on, DC, refrain at least till you get to, because he's not in high school just yet, right?
He starts this year,
okay.
ninth grade.
Well, he's pretty much there. So I think ninth grade is when I started swearing, and have not stopped since, unfortunately.
Hey, Oaklawn Sports, if you haven't downloaded the app, the Olympics are coming up. You've got every sport there, plus you've got the rest of Major League Baseball season. You got all the preseason football stuff that's there. If you haven't downloaded, do that now. And when you sign up today, you qualify for a second chance on your first bet up to $250. The process is easy. You create your account. After downloading the app, you make your deposit. You can use your debit or credit card, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH. If you're in Hot Springs, you can go to Oaklawn and deposit or withdraw cash, and they make it easy to put cash in, take cash back out. It's just really simple. If your first bet doesn't pan out, they'll give you a bonus bet up to $250 as your very first bet. It's simpler than ever to withdraw your balance, and it's easier than ever to deposit money as well. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
So you bring up the Olympics. Smack Daddy asked us about our thoughts on the United States men's basketball team barely winning the Olympic friendly over South Sudan. And if you missed the tail end, it was quite entertaining.
Jones trying to get free. Into Carly Jones. 6 seconds left. Carly Jones on the drive for the lead. The deep try by Gabriel. A second attempt. No. Davis comes out with it. And that is it. The United States holds on for a win. And South Sudan, mere moments away from what would have been the biggest win in their country's history, perhaps in any sporting event.
Again, just a 1-point win for the United States.
Should not happen.
Yeah, I was watching it, and South Sudan was up by 14 at 1 point, and it was weird because I almost found myself cheering for the upset, which I never cheer against Team USA. But in this situation, they, again, being one of the biggest underdogs, and I know the United States won, but, I mean, maybe that was the wake-up call they needed. Like, everyone remembers the 92 Dream Team. What some of you might forget, or it might have to just be a little bit of recall, is the Dream Team lost to that college team, right? With Bobby Hurley and those guys. And maybe Chuck Daly intentionally threw that game so the guys would listen to him and they would be coachable. Maybe this is a situation that this scare will make these guys more coachable. I do wonder, with this roster, you've got 7 guys on the Team USA roster that are 30 or more years old. And I know LeBron James hit that clutch shot at the end, but there's some real youth against some of the teams they'll play, like France with Wembanyama, like Canada with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How they will be able to oppose that with being a more, well, in some cases good, but a veteran basketball team.
Oh, I don't expect them to go undefeated, but I do expect them to still win the gold medal. I think they are talented enough against a team like Sudan. They can maybe turn it on, turn it off when they need to be. And that's sometimes the problem. You coast a little bit. I don't know. I didn't watch this game, but I've heard the reaction to it. So, but there's no question who has the most talented team, most talented roster, top to bottom. It would be an embarrassment to them personally. As a team, it would be an embarrassment to USA basketball for them not to come back for the gold medal. And you talk about getting joked out with your peers. That's what's on the line as much as gold medal is. They got to go back and walk in them locker rooms and see their peers in the NBA. They don't want to have to explain why they didn't win gold medal. So that to me is probably as big a motivating factor for that collection of players as anything.
So are they running suicides, you think, after that 1-point win? It's not like they're
going to get in better shape.
Is it like Herb Brooks in the movie Miracle when there's like, all right, practice time right after, again, they won. They didn't lose. I want to be clear about that. But it was odd. Christian, you referred to, did you watch the whole game? I watched part of it, and then I watched the ending. It did keep me entertained, though, just because I don't think anyone. It was like, I want to say South Sudan was like a 34.5-point underdog in this game. And yet they found themselves 2 points away from beating the greatest basketball team on this planet, which is, again, should never happen, ever.
No, I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't get to watch it, but I was keeping up with the score, and they were up 16 at halftime, and I was like, wow, they better get with it. And it was close. They flipped the script in the second half, but I mean, I'd barely heard of South Sudan. I mean, I've heard of Sudan, but I didn't know there was a South Sudan.
So Winyan Gabriel played for Cal. He's on that team. There's a few other guys in the NBA. Manute Bol is a name that people know of. But yeah, again, I was not familiar heavily with their roster, but it was a much more competitive game than I thought. So you had that. And you will get ready for the Olympics coming up. And I know there's a lot of Arkansans that are featured in track and field. Tommy, you referred to golf earlier. Like, that being really the lone thing we have to look forward to left with golf in the FedEx Cup.
But the FedEx Cup, yeah, you got, Olympic golf still new to us all. We're talking about Justin Rose. I believe he won the last Olympic gold medal in golf. So that will be paid attention to some by hardcore golf fans. But, first of all, golf doesn't have that wide of an appeal.
Yeah.
Secondly, the FedEx Cup doesn't probably appeal to many that's going to bring it in. And, draw moths to the flames, so to speak. So, I think golf season pretty well ended this past weekend.
Is there any, I'm going to watch the basketball, but I'm not drawn to swimming, really.
It's the obscure sports that I like. Like in the I know this is not the Winter Games, but curling.
Curling's fun.
Table it's all the odd stuff, rifle shooting, because you only see it every 4 years.
Yeah.
So now I'm drawn to the obscure.
Now, remind me, where are the Summer Olympics going to be in 2026?
I'll have to look that up.
I couldn't remember that. I know the World Cup is going to be here coming up in just a couple short years, but I couldn't remember where that is. I know France is. I haven't seen the latest. I think they're still dealing with the sewage or the bad part of the swimming area of the Olympics. But it has been it will be an event like yourself that I'm drawn to the obscure stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to watch every single Team USA event. But I will watch the golf and the men's basketball, no question.
Well, and I'll my wife and daughter will watch the gymnastics. That's always probably as highly rated. As far as television viewing, it will be the gymnastics events.
Did you watch any of the Team USA versus the women's All-Star team this weekend?
Nope.
Where the women WNBA All-Stars beat them?
No, but I read about it.
Joe and Prairie Grove and Mason and Megan pointed that out. You had Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on the same team, which was a dynamic I think people were drawn to. But thought that was interesting. I didn't watch it, but I saw the score, and I was just kind of like, well, that's interesting. A lot of young ladies for the WNBA All-Stars, and the Olympic team was much more veteran. So curious what is made of that this week.
Winter Olympics are in Italy in 26.
Italy. Okay. Well, you've wanted to go to Italy. Go to Italy. There's
good
your
reason to
chance.
go right there. So, all right, hour 2 coming up here of the Morning Rush, brought to you by Farm Credit. If you're looking to remodel your home or spruce it up, or maybe buy your dream home or forever home, Farm Credit's got all the financing options you need. They've been around for more than 100 years, and they have 25 locations across Arkansas to help you. Go to myaglender.com and see the options they have available, or drop in any of those 25 locations and visit with one of their friendly team members today. That's myaglender.com, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
We'll chat with Brandon Marcel when we return on the Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Heddon Super Spook Jr.
This is the Morning Rush.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now.
This video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric.
Open last week at SEC Media Days on Thursday. How would you describe that? We'll get into more of that coming up in hour number 2. We're going to chat with Brandon Marcel. Had a chance to catch up with him at SEC Media Days. Tommy, he was busy. He had bought NCAA football, but he hadn't played it just yet. So I would guess over the weekend maybe he got some time in like Big C has when it comes to that video game. I think
bad week to have an out-of-town assignment if you're that's your thing.
Yeah, I think Dylan will eventually invite you downstairs to play and
he didn't have to invite me. If that is my house, I'll go anywhere in that house I want to.
Well,
until they make the mortgage payment, I'll go into any door, walk into anywhere I want to go in that house.
Yeah, I'm just hemorrhaging money.
Sounds like I've said that before.
Yeah, I'm just hemorrhaging money right now with all the different bills.
How many bills you pay around here?
Well,
sorry, Dad.
I understand. Listen,
turn that light off.
It's only taken me 29 years to understand my dad's frustrations of us.
You're going to understand a lot more
of us not turning off the lights when I was a kid or leaving something on at a certain point because
I'm just waiting for one of them to say, "But Dad, they're LED."
Just to come back with the quick.
Yeah.
But now again, getting these bills, watching money not get bigger but pile up in terms of bills. It is understandable now. I feel my father's pain and frustration.
You regret it?
On the other side. No, I don't regret it. I just understand it. And I've come to a sense of how he used to feel back then. I don't even have kids.
Yeah.
It's just
well,
me.
What do you do? And one of them says, "Get out of my room." Oh, your room.
I will. If he is below, if he's in single digits, that kid's getting paddled if he says that. I'll tell you that right now. All right, we got a lot to talk about, and with Brandon Marcel, and we'll chat with him in just one sec.
Hey, it's Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and now Brinkley all come with a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. So stop in and see why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Still going here on Radio Row, thanks to our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Lindbergh Real Estate Team, and also WT Equipment. Now, we haven't talked to many local guys outside of Tom Murphy just yet. This is a local guy that covers not just the SEC, but national college football. He's Brandon Marcel, Northwest Arkansas resident. Brandon, obviously, we're glad to have you back in the area, of course. We'll start off with Sam Pittman, and then we'll move on to some national stuff. You got a chance to talk with him in the offseason about the relationship with him and Bobby Petrino. As you've kind of seen things play out with spring ball and Taylor Green, has your mind changed one way or another how you feel about this football team this season?
Not necessarily, no.
because I need to watch them play a couple of games this year. I mean, the talk is talk, and they lost so much at linebacker, as we know, and then they backfilled all that. And as much attention as everybody's paying to the offense, and there will be notable upgrades there just because Bobby Petrino's going to be calling the plays. But I do wonder and worry about the defense at the linebacker spots, the depth on defense, and how that's going to hold up throughout the season against that schedule. Offensively, I'm a big believer in Taylon Green, but he does need to show a little bit more consistency. Throw the football down the field. He struggled with that a little bit at Boise State. So I don't quite know what to expect from Arkansas other than this is a team that's got the type of talent to get to a bowl game. I think the question is that enough for Sam Pittman to keep his job and to keep the Wolves at bay?
Yeah.
Is it when you look at where he's at versus some other SEC coaches? I know Dennis Dodd came out with the hot seat report, CBS Sports. I wonder, if him versus Nate
talk about the challenges of this year. Fans throw out 8-4 like it's mediocre, but if I just give you 4 non-conference wins, in Arkansas's case, you win the Oklahoma State game, and the other 3 you should win on paper. Just finding 4 SEC wins for the vast majority of this league, it's hard to do.
It's very difficult to find those wins, and you're exactly right. I think a lot of us are still hung up on what the SEC was maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Pre-Saban.
Yeah, pre-Saban. And now everybody believes that, well, you need to beat Saban potentially once out of every 2 or 3 years, which was impossible to do even so, and then get to 4, 5, 6 wins in the SEC, and it's just there's only a handful of teams that can do that. And it's about to get much tougher if the SEC expands to 9 league games, which is most likely coming.
Yeah.
Winning 8 games is not a bad thing. It's just not. And, I still think I don't know if you can change the fan mindset. Maybe in this new era of college football where it's going to be just power programs beating up on each other all the time, much like the NFL, it's going to be like, a 7-5 season isn't all that bad. If we just had 2 more wins, we'd be in the playoff now. I think that expanding the playoff and condensing and consolidating the power programs, so to speak, into haves and have-nots, it's maybe over the next 5 to 10 years we start to level out the expectation.
It's also what makes the Saban era at Alabama even more impressive when you really step back and evaluate what Kirby is at least begun to do at this point. And then we talk about, Ole Miss winning 10 and Missouri winning 10. Well, let's see if they can do it 3 or 4 years in a row. There's Arkansas won 10 games and in 2 years in a row and 10 and 11. It can happen, but putting together 4 seasons like that is incredibly difficult for most of them.
It's completely
and it's not going to be easy for Texas or OU either.
No, and listen, I used to cover Auburn a long time. You know how many back-to-back 10-win seasons they have?
Tell me.
2.
1. I'm say 1.
Wow.
Arkansas has more back-to-back 10-win seasons than Auburn. And, the difference, though, with Auburn is the highs are really high.
Yeah.
The lows are really low. But, yeah, good luck being consistent winning 10 games a year in the SEC.
So that's why everybody's 3-game losing streak from being fired in this league.
Yes.
I mean, this league eventually is going to have to accept some of this, or you're going to run out of money because you're going to be paying too many coaches at one time.
At some point, you think so, but
they always find it.
They keep spending it's like monopoly money at this point. I don't know where they're getting it.
Well, but they're going to start giving some of it away.
Well, that might be what keeps things in check a little bit.
Yeah.
Brandon Marcel is a guest, 24/7 Sports National College football reporter. Speaking of money, have you invested in NCAA football yet?
I pre-ordered it. Haven't gotten to play it yet because I've been here. I've seen it sporadically. I was in the green rooms with some players yesterday morning and today and was watching them play, and it took everything in my body to just not shove them to the side and steal the controller out of their hands.
Sticks. Well,
yeah.
It sure seems like, based on social media feedback, based on Kirby Smart, I mean, you had the biggest person here at Media Days bring it up. It is they're marketing themselves, basically.
Because every player's played it or is wanting to play it. Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby said this morning in a breakout session with a few of us that he told the players on the plane, because they were talking about the game, he goes, yeah, enjoy it, play it now, because you are not playing that game when we get to camp.
Wow.
So you might see some kids sneaking off in the middle of the night to go play that game, whereas they used to go try break curfew and all that stuff to go see a lady. They might go break curfew just so they could play a game.
All right, Brandon, let's close out here on Jeff Lebby. Arkansas plays Mississippi State this season in Starkville. It's probably their easiest road game when you look at Stillwater. Technically the road game in Jerry World. They'll go to Missouri and then to Auburn. Is that a must-win game for Sam Pittman in Starkville?
Possibly. I'd have to look completely at the schedule. But when you look at Mississippi State this year, they're a team that a lot of people are chalking up as a win. What's going to be interesting for them is that Jeff Lebby is so confident that their offense is going to put up a lot of points this year.
With Shapen, yeah. And
they were terrible last year, as we know. But it's just – the thing is like that offense is all new. There's only 2 guys returning. Everybody's new. And Jeff Lebby, all he does is put points up everywhere he goes with that system. defensively, I wonder kind of how they stack up, because that's what they kind of had to hang their hat on last year. Their defense really under Zach Arnett the last 3 years had been really good, changing the system a little bit there. I think the defense is what can kind of take a step back there for them. But, definitely when you talk about Sam Pittman, every game is a must-win for him at this point. You've got to get to 500 or above 500, and if you're not winning your quote-unquote easiest road game in the SEC, you're in big trouble, because he's got to win one.
The worst game in college football last season was Mississippi State and Arkansas to 7-3.
On the same weekend as Penn State, Iowa, that I remember watching that game while I was in Miami and thinking, I think I even tweeted, I said, wait, Iowa Penn State wasn't supposed to kick off till later tonight. Why is it on my TV right now? Oh, that's Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Brandon, we'll leave it there. We appreciate your time this afternoon, and try and get some sleep, because I know we haven't got much these last few days.
You're right. I got to go back to the room and write tonight, so there we go.
Never stops. All right, that was good stuff from Brandon Marcel. Plenty to react to, including, again, the change in the fan base and just kind of what a good season is now in the Southeastern Conference. I mean, you look about where some of these teams were ranked in the SEC. Oklahoma, for example, new to the conference, ranked 8th preseason. We'll see where they end up, but certain fan bases are going to have to change their expectations. For me, and the Arkansas Razorbacks, I don't think you should have to change too much at all. But we'll talk about that more coming up when we got our Morning Rush Daily Question to get to as well, plus some MLB Hall of Fame stuff from Cooperstown, Tommy.
Hey, want to remind you, another chance coming up tomorrow and Thursday to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime. We're giving away a trip to see the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles at AT&T Stadium in November. It's brought to you by Hardee's and ESPN Arkansas. All you need to do is eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, and you're automatically qualified for the finals of our giveaway that will happen in about a month. So be sure and stay tuned. Again, your chance to qualify tomorrow between 11 and 1. Are we back at Phoenix or on?
I have down to Rogers.
Rogers Avenue, right? So the Rogers Avenue location, Fort Smith, stop by Hardee's and have some lunch with us and see if you can qualify for the football trip of a lifetime. See the Cowboys and the Eagles. Brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
All right, more to get to on a Hot Take Monday when we return on the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guns.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Great to be on here with you guys. I think you guys do awesome work, and I really enjoy listening to you.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle,
And you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Morning Rush Daily Question.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, so the ranking of order of SEC teams came out preseason. You also got some all SEC team selection. We'll get to that coming up, except it's going to be a slight twist. We're going to re-rank the top 5 teams and states most likely to marry their cousins. We'll do that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question. We were talking about the U.S. men's basketball team, Olympic basketball team. Will they win the gold medal in the 2024 Olympics? They had a close shave against Sudan, international competition. I mean, we try to reflect back to the Dream Team 32 years ago, I guess it's been. But the international stage has changed. Will this team win the gold medal?
I'm going to say no. And maybe that's why. Making too much of South Sudan. I brought it up. They got 7 guys on the roster that are 30 or older. We're seeing a youth movement within the National Basketball Association. The same could be said about international. The gap between the United States and international teams is far less than that Dream Team that you referenced. I mean, their closest game, I think, was like a 30-something point drubbing back in the day. Now it's pretty routine then, like the gold medal game. It's close. The United States typically wins it more often than not, but it's close. You got teams like Canada with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Greece with the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm going to say France with Wemby. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they lose and they fall short.
I think they lose a game, and I don't know exactly. I don't know how many they can lose and still get to the gold medal round, but they will not go undefeated, but they will win the gold medal. That's I just believe, they're the most talented roster top to bottom, even though the international stage and what other teams bring to the Olympics has vastly changed over 30 years. Mm-hmm. But these guys, they won't be able to show their face again in an NBA arena. You know how they're going to get joked out by their teammates and their peers, and then the legends of the game, people like Barkley, people like Michael Jordan that were on that team. They I
think it was 2002 that the last time that I think they lost in 2002, if I remember that. I remember it was 2004.
You don't want to be that. You don't want to be those guys.
Yeah, because you had that team that lost, and then there was the redeemed team. I guess it was either 2 or 4 years later.
It's
so
been 4. Huh?
Yeah, that was the setup back then. But again, you got the best player in the NBA right now is an international guy, in Nikola Jokic, and that's you can't say that. You couldn't have said that the previous 30 years, but that just shows where the game is right now. It's odd, but
one player doesn't make a team from another.
No,
country.
you're right, and
that's why the Americans will win the gold.
I hope you're accurate, or excuse me, I hope you're right on that, because I think with Team USA, like you said, it is a better roster. But I mean, they got to remember that, like, these teams want it just as bad, if not more, than they do, and hopefully they show up when the real competition begins. You could say it was a friendly, wasn't that big of a deal, but
I think they know when to turn the switch on. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question, brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, and a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Wheels RV, seek, explore, and discover.
This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. Schedule your service appointment today at gopascal.com.
All right, Chuck's going to be back with us on Thursday, and we'll kind of recap what happened again last week, and hopefully there'll be some new items that we can discuss. But the item that came out at the end of the week was the fact that you have now all SEC teams, which includes second team all SEC Landon Jackson, and then the ranking order of the SEC team, which the Georgia Bulldogs are at number 1. No surprise there. Arkansas is at number 14. Tommy, your voting, you said earlier in the show, was very similar to what the overall media voting was. Georgia at 1. Texas winds up at number 2. Oklahoma, though, winds up all the way at number 8.
Yeah. Wasn't Alabama 3, then Ole Miss 4?
Correct.
I had Alabama 2, Texas 3, Ole Miss 4. So pretty much my top 4, all the same teams. We just flip-flopped a couple of teams. Not surprised Oklahoma ends up down there. And I don't know if there were any losers of media days, but Texas, I thought, was the big winner in the conversation and probably the media attention they got. Oklahoma comes into this league with Texas, and there wasn't a lot of conversation last week nationally on, outside of their moment on the stage. There wasn't a lot of ongoing conversation about the Sooners last week.
Yeah.
They may be the surprise team in some regards this year.
I wonder if people would feel differently about Texas coming into the SEC if Alabama would have just blew them out of the water last year.
It's a great point. Again, last 2 years, Texas host them in Austin, should have won that game. Last year, they go into Tuscaloosa and handle the Crimson Tide pretty easily. I think that one game is, I think people are making, and I personally, and maybe I shouldn't, I'm making a bigger deal out of that game than maybe I should when you think about the terrain of the Southeastern Conference week after week. I just look, and I know Beck got ranked the number 1 quarterback in the league, but I still
didn't
think
have
that.
him there.
Where'd you have him at?
You only got to rank 2, and I didn't have him on my ballot.
Got to be Ewers, man.
Quinn Ewers, number 1.
Who was 2 for you?
I put Jackson Dart in there.
If he is the second best quarterback in the league, Ole Miss will be in the championship game. I truly believe that because they, along with Texas, probably have the second or third best roster in the SEC.
Yours 1 and Dart 2. Yours. Surprised me he didn't garner more votes than he did. So.
Yeah, well, maybe that is they kind of want to see it week in, week out. But again, that's the real rankings. And I say real rankings. I want to talk about what we think are the real rankings in the Southeastern Conference. All right, so we're just going to do the top 5 teams and fan bases most likely to marry their cousins, Tommy. Vanderbilt, I'll put them at 16 because I think they're pretty well educated in knowing what right and wrong is in the sanctity of marriage. So,
is West Virginia in this conference?
West Virginia is not in this league, but Vanderbilt, like in the actual SEC polls, winds up at number 16. We'll start at 5. I have this is not a Bruce Stanton or Craig and Deere, but I have the Tennessee Volunteers as the 5th most likely fan base to marry their cousins, and I'm checking in at number 5.
Okay. Tennessee, that Appalachian mountain life, that probably does fit in to to your ranking there.
Texas, okay, so Texas is not going to wind up in the top 5 because the male partners, while, again, they often leave their female partners left wanting, I think they have an idea of that. There is a Texas school on this top 5 list, but the Longhorns are not included. At number 4 is the Mississippi State Bulldogs that, again, go deaf and are stupid with the cowbell. I mean, I attended that game last year for the 2 years ago, for the first time, and my ears were still ringing after that game. I don't understand. Like, it might have been something you do back in the day, but they still do it. While the SEC lets them do it, even though there's clear bylines that state no artificial noisemakers.
Except in Starkville.
Except for Starkville.
Most of their fans have to be deaf.
Oh, yeah. Deaf and potentially marrying their cousins.
But they behave. They don't bring them during the play. That's their mantra.
That's the mantra. At number 3, we were just talking about the Oklahoma Sooners. They check in at number 3. They're still trying to figure out what it's going to be like in the SEC, and our bordering neighbors from time to time will not only chant Boomer Sooner, but also marry their cousins. Number 2 is Alabama, and they were just beat out.
Not Auburn, but Alabama.
Alabama.
Right.
You could easily put Alabama at number 1. The Crimson Tide, one of the dumbest fan bases in the country, yet they win championships because they had the greatest coach of all time. They check in at number 2. And
I'm very interested who this number 1 team could be.
it's Texas A&M. The Aggies.
Wow.
The Aggies somehow, someway beat out what I would presume to be the betting favorite in the Alabama Crimson Tide. But and I say this and I say this in the most respectful way possible.
It sounds like it.
Because I have friends that are married to Aggies. My brother is dating an Aggie who I saw this weekend, but that fan base and some of their traditions and their cultish-like behavior, it shouldn't surprise you that they would wind up as number 1 of any SEC team most likely to marry
Ole Miss,
their cousins.
Where's Kentucky in this?
I did not have Kentucky listed. Where would you have put Kentucky
Maybe
in your
number
rankings?
1.
You would put Kentucky
Yeah.
above that. A&M to me is the clear number 1 based on some of the stuff. And honestly, Alabama, it was about as close to that list. But you would have Kentucky on this list?
Absolutely.
Where would you have Kentucky, Big C, on this list?
Number 5.
Number 5. They would at least crack your top 5. All right, so where...
Again, no West Virginia involved, unfortunately.
Where on this list did I put teams too high, too low?
Tennessee.
Again, 5, Tennessee, 4, Mississippi State, 3, OU, 2, Alabama, 1, Texas A&M's on the teams and fan bases most likely to marry their cousins.
I give OU a little more credit than you're giving them.
So you would put them higher up on the list, like 3 or 2?
Yeah.
I would just love to know how your analysis, what your points of emphasis were on this, on determining and separating these teams.
Feedback, going to each city council and figuring out the likelihood. It's a bunch of stuff, again, behind the scenes, a lot of due diligence and stuff like that. But I think I've come to a conclusion that is worthy of where these teams rank to be.
Yeah. How many fan bases, if this was a bit on a radio station anywhere else in this conference, how many would have Arkansas on their list?
I think every single
every one of them, yeah.
Every single, and Chaz in Fayetteville points that out. He says any other fan base probably has Arkansas at number 1. And Cody and Lavaca chimes in. I'm sorry, Arkansas is way more likely to marry any other family member than anybody outside of Texas.
Get down in the nitty gritty, yeah. Alabama, I think, gets the most public hate just because they're good and people like to make jokes about Alabama. But I don't know.
Makes my eyes cross to think about it. So
Jeffrey and Dirks, his list include number 1, Tennessee, number 2, Texas A&M, 3, Tennessee, 4, Tennessee, 5, Texas A&M. So he only has 2 teams that find themselves in the top 5 on this list. I would have thought Kentucky.
But she was purdy.
I would have thought Kentucky. Why did they stand out to you and have to be put in this list?
Just that lifestyle there.
Bluegrass.
Yep. Moonshine. All that.
Just doing whatever it takes. I'll tell you what, the biggest travesty that came out of this weekend, I think it's for the second or third consecutive year, is that Vanderbilt was picked by 2 media members to win the SEC. And those credentials should be revoked. And those 2 young men should be violated with the full extent of the law and castrated, honestly. They should be just...
That sounds a little severe.
No.
For a media ballot, yeah.
Listen, you took yours seriously when you voted, right? And now you're in the same pool as these two morons.
Two votes out of, what was it, 400 or 500 votes? I don't even know.
So as someone that just got the ballot...
You take this...
I didn't vote, actually. I
then what do you care?
Well, because...
Why didn't you vote? You had it right there.
I did, but I was like... I was in the midst. I can't remember when I was in the midst of when I got the email. I opened it, and then when I went to go back and do it, the time period had
till
finished.
5 o'clock Thursday.
That's what I'm saying. The time period had finished out.
Is Auburn more of a classier university than Alabama?
Oh, no question.
When it comes to this
no
topic?
question. Yes, Auburn is way better than Alabama by every single metric except their football program.
But Vanderbilt getting 2 votes just shows the irreverence of some, and I'm fine with that. Little sarcasm is never wasted on me.
Let's see. Cajun text in, there are parishes in Louisiana that definitely qualify for the list. LSU did not make my list. Would LSU have made your top 5 list?
Probably not. Now, we talked about 5 best tailgates in the league, and maybe that's our next one. 5 best places to eat before a football game. LSU might be
they're number 1.
Undisputed number 1 champion of the world.
Or IQ, maybe.
Near the bottom. Chaz in Fayetteville saying Ruskin, when he went, he thought that Ruskin put down Arkansas as
I believe
his
he
champion.
did.
Is that who he actually...
Well, you were there with him.
I didn't see his votes.
Yeah, I believe he did an entire show on it. Yeah, I think he put Arkansas number 1.
He's... Hog Caller in Huntsville saying that, I don't know who he's referring to, but they're saying they go to the family reunion to find their wives. Yeah. Hog Caller, you got to put out who that they is at that point. I don't know. They could be one of the, 8 SEC teams we just mentioned. They'd honestly all probably, fit the bill.
Man, the weather was great this weekend, wasn't it? Just temperatures in the 80s. The air conditioner getting a little bit of a break, but hey, it won't be long. That heat will be cranking up again, and our friends at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric are there to take care of you. Hey, one thing that you need to think about with their world-class service is Pascal Plan Protection. Just like, Ty was talking about things on the home that need to be maintenance. The heating and air system and your comfort is one of those. Just like you maintenance your car by changing the oil. Plan protection for your heating and air system is something that is very affordable and something that you should be getting done on a routine basis. And now they're offering remote monitoring as part of the services at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric to monitor your home's heating and air system with their new Smart Guard plan that gives you peace of mind and the convenience when it all comes together and enables the sensors in your home and your smartphone app designed to alert you whenever something's not right with your heating and air system. Plans start at just $8.99 a month. That's Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric or gopascal.com. Let's talk about that weather this weekend. Can you imagine how nice a weekend it was at Gaston's? The place to sit back and kick back. I imagine for all the guests at Gaston's this weekend, not too hot fishing on the river, and it's always just about 10 degrees cooler on the water. What a great weekend. We got several days of that coming up before the summer cranks back up and the heat rears its ugly head. Call 870-431-5202, and maybe this is the week you can slip up to Gaston's and spend a night or two to spend some time on the White River with one of their expert guides. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Child's plays. Touchdown.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hot summer soon gives way to fall hunting season, and with the new Arkansas Early Bow Hunt, now is the time to get your new Hoyt Alpha X or the Carbon RX-8 dialed in. Check out the new Lift compounds from Matthews, the bow that puts aluminum in a new light. Sub 4 pounds and shooting 348 feet per second. Jelco Outdoors, your full-line archery store in the River Valley. Get ready for fall bow hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hogcats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So I mentioned last segment, Arkansas picked 14th by the media in terms of the order of finish. Not too high. Got one All-SEC predicted guy in Landon Jackson's second team. So kind of thought that's where they end up. Tommy, I was thinking we were kind of the same line. I think 13 or 14, and it's the official release this weekend, and now we'll see if Arkansas can outperform that.
If Luke Haas hadn't been injured last year, he might have made second or third team at tight end, but with his limited playing time last year, he would be the other player that might be in some of these all-SEC teams come end of the year. I did notice throughout the ballot, since you didn't get a chance to really look it over, that there were several position groups that Arkansas didn't even have a player listed. And, the schools turn those in, and it's based on, how they kind of rank in that position group, I guess. But, you could just tell by looking through the ballot, Arkansas wasn't going to be well represented. I think we knew that going in, but just looking at the ballot, there were several places where an Arkansas player wasn't even an option.
I think Andrew Armstrong at the end of the year is going to wind up on an All-SEC list. Could see Brad Spence as well. Jalen Braxton would be another name, but you don't have a lot of them, at least, that you're expecting a big chunk out of. I know Sam Pittman and company have a much better idea of what his football team is. We heard from Taylor Green, Landon Jackson, and Andrew Armstrong this weekend, and hopefully their play, as we often say, will do the talking on the field in 38 days from now when they open up against UAPB in Little Rock. Baseball news, Tony, you were talking about Connor Nolan, the Arkansas baseball development stats put this out. Connor has been awesome this season for the AAA affiliate since he got moved up. Jackson Wiggins also got moved to the high A affiliate with the Chicago Cubs. I think it's the pitches this season, he's pitched and struck out 67 batters, and opponents are just hitting 235 against him. So looks like Connor could be on his way to the majors pretty soon based on how he's been and kind of how he's moved up recently the last couple of years.
Moved up to the AAA affiliate in Iowa. So, he's on that next step, and maybe with several good outings. I don't know. But maybe with a few good starts and some good outings, maybe he makes a playoff roster. I would kind of be surprised if that happened, but he's put himself in a position to be considered.
You'd probably see some Greenwood Bulldog hats make their way to Chicago and Wrigley Field if that ended up happening, if not this year, but definitely next year. I did see that Carson Hansen, the Milwaukee transfer, I believe, is now going to Lexington instead of Fayetteville. The once Arkansas commit has rethought his decision, is now going to be playing for Mignon in the Kentucky Wildcats. Curious to see the reason behind that. Don't know if we'll ever get that publicly. Just saw that news from the weekend. So basketball news for you this morning. Darius Acuff, who is a class of 2025 kid, 5-star, top 10, top 15 player, depending on what site you go to. He is making his college decision this Friday between the Michigan Wolverines, where he's from, the Kansas Jayhawks, and the Arkansas Razorbacks. A lot of recruiting analysts think he's going to wind up at Arkansas, but he will be making his decision. So that could be the first player in this upcoming class for John Calipari. Last thing, keeping it going with Cal. He had some thoughts on satellite camps, open scrimmages, and for those in South Central Arkansas, you might like this. Take a listen, courtesy of KTV.
The satellite camps, we didn't have time to put together more than one. You wouldn't believe it's kind of busy. But my hope is we have 6 or 7, 8 of these that we go in for a day, autographs, pictures, question and answer, stations, games, let them have fun, and they leave saying, wow, that was fun. So, we're going to do more and more of them. I think they're important. Same as we're going to do our scrimmages in Hot Springs, maybe Pine Bluff, just to take the team to the communities. And always have to come to Fayetteville. Let us do our thing and come to you.
Thought that was interesting for him to detail in the satellite camps. Again, there was one in Russellville, but interesting to hear him talk about. I thought the back half of that portion was kind of cool.
I saw a few pictures on social media. I know he went and had lunch at Stobie's, local favorite there, I had a meal. I don't know that it was lunch, but had a meal at Stobie's there in Russellville. So when he goes into these towns, saw pictures of people in the community that had selfies with Calipari in Russellville. So I like the idea. I like his thinking here. Take it to Banco ZK Arena there and have a scrimmage. Take it to the convention center and play in Pine Bluff. So I like the idea of doing that because we're well past the day of being able to play actual games anywhere other than Bud Walton inside this state, other than the one a year they play at Simmons Bank Arena.
And that is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so it ended in Royal Troon this weekend. Congratulations to Xander Schauffele, who ends up taking it. And, Tommy, you think about prior to this year, hadn't won a major. Now he's won two, PGA Championship and the Open. One of the most historic, if not the most historic golf tournament of any of the majors. Cool to see. We brought this up earlier. First time since 1982 that Americans have swept the majors in 2024.
Tom Watson won the middle two. Raymond Floyd won the PGA that year. It was all Americans through the 1982 year. And America did it again, but Xander Schauffele, kind of like that year, won a couple out of the four. DeChambeau, obviously, with the U.S. Open. And, does that mean that America's going to win the Ryder Cup or in a year and a half or a year and a few months? Or does that mean that an American will win the gold medal in the Olympics? Probably not. But in the end, the four biggest events in golf, an American hoisted the trophy.
Now, would you put a drink of some sort in that claret jug like he's going to?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know if that would be something that's so prestigious that you wouldn't touch it at all.
Oh, that's why you win it, to do things like that.
To drink it like that. I know for some it would be like, no, that thing is getting on a mantle or it's getting framed.
Well, yeah,
immediately.
it will eventually, but yeah, we're gonna put something in that claret jug and use it for what it's intended to be used for.
Do they get a deep clean? Is there like a deep clean after they drink out of it?
I guess they get their own replica to keep, and then the actual trophy goes back to the R&A at some point, I guess, next year.
Okay. I got you. Well, we had a text earlier about the Ryder Cup, similar to, and I'm forgetting the text referring to USA Basketball, that Europeans often kind of just care more about that than we do. But that would be cool, again, for America to sweep the majors like they did this year, and if they could win the Ryder Cup next year to kind of parlay those two years together.
Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at WT Equipment. Work now and pay later with the sizzling savings this summer at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025. And you can do that on select New Holland equipment right now. Choose zero for 60 months, or get up to $10,000 in cash back. Plus, you get free net wrap on roll belt round balers right now. That's one of the many options you can choose from. Or you can choose zero for 72, plus an additional $2,000 in cash back on a new compact tractor. Stop in and see them. No money down, no interest, no payments. WT Equipment, your partner in progress. They're online with all of their locations at WTEquip.com.
Had some interesting comments from Brandon Marcel. We're going to jump back into in this hour.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to $10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to $10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional $2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is The Morning Rush.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind.
This video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got 2 gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
So how are you embracing the hog in 2024? I, for one, have decided against eating anything pig-related for the remainder of the offseason until the season actually starts. Going steak and other things that I'm going to consume at one point. I also asked my neighbors to embrace the hog when I walk outside of my boxers, which I found out from Tommy this morning because my mailbox is so close to my house. I don't really have any rules.
How close is it to the door?
You literally, you open the gate and the mailbox is right there. Maybe 5 feet.
Oh, then yeah, no big deal.
Okay.
Then.
Boxers at any time. And I say boxers when I go to bed, boxer briefs just for normal everyday wear, just to distinguish the two so you can figure out which I'm wearing.
I really don't want to figure any of that out.
I can go into more details if you want to at that point.
Nobody wants any of those details. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley are there for you. The Brinkley Model Z, if you haven't seen this, get by Wheels and check it out. It's the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV at Wheels, it comes with a lifetime warranty so you can camp with confidence. Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. 100% financing available. No job too small or large. Everything for the outside of the house.
All right, my hot take, or at least one of them, is that Brian in Ozark is actually going to give us a good call this morning. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. Happy Monday.
Hey, happy Monday to y'all, too. Getting closer to the greatest part of the year.
No question. We can agree on that.
That is true. Man, I got a question about, Arkansas and their NIL stuff. It's like, they're basically asking Arkansas fans to donate, $50 a month or something like that to NIL to help pay these players.
Varies on the levels, but yeah.
Okay. Well, here's my problem with that. Okay, Arkansas is definitely, no doubt, 100% basketball school, and it seems like they've kind of gotten away from football. And the reason I say that is, yeah, they needed to replace their coach. You can spend $10 million on a basketball coach, and you're going with a subpar coaching staff at Arkansas again. They picked 14th, which is pretty much laughable. They haven't won the SEC in 34 years at all. They've never won the SEC. So,
what's your point, Brian?
So my point is, how's it? For me, it's hard to donate to Arkansas.
Well, you're a Texas fan. You're not going to donate anyway.
Well, I might.
No, you're not.
I mean, I bought tickets to Arkansas games already.
For the season.
You know.
You bought You bought season tickets.
Well, I didn't buy a season. I did go buy 3 different single tickets, different games.
Okay.
Being the Tennessee game, Oklahoma State, and of course Texas.
Oh.
Yeah. But I would like to see Arkansas do well. It's just hard to see them go 14th again, knowing that they're not going to win. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess
that's right. You don't know. Hey, who's rooting for them to go 14th? None of us are rooting. I mean, nobody's excited about where they're at. But let's not sit here on your high Texas horse and act like Texas has been, the upper crust of college football for the last quarter century.
Yeah, Brian, here's
now they did win a national championship, but they've had more down years than good years.
Yeah.
And I believe the last time Arkansas and Texas played, the outcome didn't favor Brian's team there.
Well, Brian, you like stats. Here's a stat. Texas hadn't won a national championship in nearly a decade. Prior to last year, Texas had won the Big 12 since, I think, 2009. So, like the high horse that Tommy has referred to, you don't have a lot to stand on outside of this past year. There's basically a decade and a half of stuff that you're not too proud of as a Texas fan because you equate your team, your program as nationally competitive. And really, for almost 15 years, they haven't been.
Listen,
this past year, they were. We'll see what happens in the SEC.
I like Brian's calls. I don't mind Brian. But Brian, you need to stay on Texas and why they're good and quit hammering Arkansas. We already know we've got issues. We already know that, hey, 4-8 last year didn't meet anyone's expectations. You're stating the obvious. No one around here is happy in this state and this fan base with being picked 14th. All it does is give you the opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong. If you want to be a Texas fan, call in and talk about Texas. You've got a lot of great things to be excited and hopeful for. Why do you got to pound on Arkansas's head? Yeah, we got issues. We'll see in some other sports. Football may not be the one this year. But you know what? We're going to strap it up November 16th and see what happens.
Titus,
I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be you if Arkansas prevails that day.
Titus wants to know why Brian sounds like Kermit the Frog. Robert chimes in, says, tell Brian to F off.
Be a fan of your team.
And then, let's see. Bill in Hot Springs brings up, we have beaten Texas the last 5 out of 7 games. 2000, 03, when you had 14, 21. Yeah, that sounds right. So, get a good number. Brian is Captain Obvious this morning. Also chimes in. Jay from Hot Springs.
Brian, you're welcome to call, but, talk about your team.
I have some friends to do Texas.
You got plenty to talk about.
Texas sports radio, Brian, and I will be happy to give you their information if you want to listen to a Texas affiliated show. All right, I want to jump back into some of the things Brandon Marcel had to say about expectations and how they've changed within the Southeastern Conference. And I think it's interesting to see where teams are ranked right now and maybe how you need to readjust. For example, Oklahoma's ranked at number 8. Winning 8 games overall, according to Brandon Marcel, really isn't that bad.
Winning 8 games is not a bad thing. It's just not. And I don't know if you can change the fan mindset. Maybe in this new era of college football where it's going to be just power programs beating up on each other all the time, much like the NFL, it's going to be like, oh, a 7-5 season isn't all that bad. If we just had 2 more wins, we'd be in the playoff now. I think that expanding the playoff and condensing and consolidating the power programs, so to speak, into haves and have-nots, it's maybe over the next 5 to 10 years we start to level out the expectation.
No, because fans are involved.
Yeah.
And everybody believes they're going to go 10-2 or better. And then reality sets in. But just sit down. You can do it with the Arkansas schedule, but then sit down with the Mississippi State schedule. Sit down with the Kentucky schedule. Sit down with the Florida schedule, South Carolina. Now, if it's Georgia or Texas, Alabama or Ole Miss, you probably find 8+ wins there. But then you start getting down middle, sit down with Oklahoma's schedule. And, hey, just take the liberty that you're going to go 4-0 in conference play. Find 4 SEC wins that you can circle. 4 that you feel really good about. It's hard to do once you get past about 4 or 5 teams in this league. Mm-hmm. And math just tells you that, hey, there aren't going to be many that go 10-2. There'll be a few that go 8-4, and then there's going to be a lot of teams that are disappointed. Yeah. That's just the nature of the sport. But the reality is just going 4-4 in this league is a much more difficult task for the majority of the programs. I'm not speaking about Georgia. I'm not speaking about Alabama. Not speaking about LSU. But you look at Auburn. That's not going to be easy this year. I mean, you can keep going down the list.
All the road in Tuscaloosa, all the road in Athens.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just, 4-4 in this league, and that's why there's probably a lot of internal pushback with coaches, with institutions trying to raise money on going to 9 SEC games.
I mean, you bring up Auburn. Listen to this stat. So we're chatting with Brandon earlier. Listen to this.
I used to cover Auburn a long time. You know how many back-to-back 10-win seasons they have? One.
Don't say one.
Wow.
Arkansas has more back-to-back 10-win seasons than Auburn.
That right there is just hard to fathom, that the Auburn Tigers, who have multiple national championships in the history of their program, have won.
But their highs are a lot higher than, we compare everything to Arkansas. Their highs are obviously higher.
Mm-hmm. Cam Newton, Bo Jackson.
They've had great moments in writing the history of this league. But, coming back to the point, I'm not trying to get everybody to jump on the mediocrity train here this morning, but let's just have a reality check. 8-4, number one, I think for where we've been the last few years and going 4-8 last year, 8-4 would seem almost like a miracle this year. I'm just saying 8-4 anymore in today's, and particularly in this expanded league with this schedule, and this isn't just an Arkansas only conversation. There's a lot of teams out there that are going to struggle to get 4 SEC wins this year.
See, I think Arkansas's fans' expectations shouldn't change one bit. In fact, I feel like that Arkansas's path to the playoff got easier. As odd as that sounds. You don't have to go to Atlanta now.
I don't disagree with that.
You legitimately do not have to go to Atlanta to make the college football playoff. 2011, you would have been there. 2010, probably would have been there. And neither time did you wind up in Atlanta, Georgia. 2006, you probably would have gone. 2002, you would have had, I think, you were 3 losses at that point. But Arkansas's path to the college football playoff is easier in 2024. I know that's hard to grasp with Texas and Oklahoma League, but in my opinion, it got easier with the additions of the 8 extra college football playoff teams.
So let's just live in fantasy world for a minute. 9-3. All right. Arkansas goes 5-3 in the SEC. I'm not guaranteeing you a spot in the 12-team playoff, but you're in the conversation at 9-3. Now, some of that's going to depend on where those 3 were at, but you beat LSU at home. You win those games on the road. Maybe you lose to Tennessee and Missouri. I don't. It's going to depend on how some other things shake out, but there will be a team this year. I don't believe it will be Arkansas, but there will be a team this year at 9-3 in this league that's at least being discussed. Whether they make it or not, I don't know. But there will be 9-3 teams around the tail end of the playoff.
Yeah, it could be an Alabama or LSU. We were talking about 8-win teams. Think about if Bama goes 8-4 this year, how irate their fan base is going to be, or LSU fans, how mad and angry and disgusted their fan base would be. But you look at that schedule, and it's not unfathomable to think about based on who they have to take on throughout the season. Oklahoma, again, has to end their season against LSU in Death Valley. I was listening to Jackson Arnold, their new quarterback, talk about that game. And I personally don't think, now I think when I say that certain fan bases like Arkansas don't have to readjust their, I don't think you should. I think that most of you think 7-8 wins on average every 4 or 5 years compete for a college football playoff. And I think that you can do that currently the way the SEC is constructed. Now, I don't think LSU fans, Florida fans, Alabama fans, certainly not Georgia fans, believe that is their expectations. They're thinking 10 or 11 wins a year, compete for the national championship every 2 years.
They don't even want to be sweating it on the last selection.
I agree with Brandon in the sense that, again, I don't see that should affect Arkansas in the current state of college football and the SEC. And again, I'll go back to the point I just made. Your pathway to the college football playoff is easier than it was a year ago. And with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma, the 8 new playoff teams is that impactful for the layout of your pathway, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. But how do you get to 9 or 10 wins? Arkansas hasn't sniffed that since Brett Bielema was here. And they got to 9 wins with a bowl win, obviously, and was it 21? But, as far as I'm talking regular season, 9, 10 wins, you've got to get back to that. Bielema had a chance to do it and to get to 10. Lost to Toledo and whoever else, Texas Tech. Those were the moments, but won 5 SEC games that year. So we've seen it with teams that I don't think were exponentially more talented, probably more talented than what probably Arkansas has, because there's, I think right now, one surefire NFL player, and that's Landon Jackson, that's on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Sam Pittman when they won the 9 games with a bowl win over Penn State. You had Traylon Burks. You got to have a skill player, and I think defensive ends are skilled players. You've got to have skilled players on both sides of the ball and a couple different places on your team that are players that are going to get drafted, and that's what you're missing right now. You got to have a deeper roster of those guys. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. You got to have better X's and O's.
Got to get into Texas, got to get into Oklahoma, and hopefully land some.
You got to keep some of these kids in your state.
Yeah, I personally don't believe that Carius Kern and some of the other young men that have Marcus Wimberly, Marion Harris, if they that have committed elsewhere, Martin Robinson, excuse me, that
Harris is on the team.
If they commit elsewhere, or currently committed elsewhere, I think if Arkansas has a 7 or 8 win season, that they will rethink and possibly wind up in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's not inside knowledge. That's just kind of how I feel about.
Well, they want to see stability. They want to know who the coach is they're playing for. And there's, Sam addressed the pressure on himself and this team. Last week at Media Days, he knows his seat's hot. 7 or 8 wins would put that fire out. Players want stability, and this is why this year is so important for so many reasons. Hey, we're talking about football here, and that leads me to thinking about fall and the better weather and the changing of the leaves. And there's no better place in your home to sit and enjoy a great view of your backyard or a great view of maybe the city skyline, depending on where you live, than a brand new sunroom from Sawyer's. They can do you a sunroom. They can create you a great patio and outdoor space with a patio cover. They also do driveways. I know my driveway needs a little repair. It's got a couple of cracked sections, and that's where Sawyer's can come to work for you. They can do new windows in your home. Your home's your biggest investment. So when it comes to making your home look great and keeping up with all that maintenance that Ty was talking about, Buzz Sawyer and his team have been doing this for more than 30 years. And speaking of Buzz, his knowledge of football runs deep. A lot of you know Buzz, and he broadcasts the Northside Grizzly games. They've been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated. And again, sunrooms, patio covers. If you're looking to get a pergola done in your backyard, Buzz and his team can do that for you. Driveways, windows, and more. They do commercial and residential work, lifetime products and warranties, quality workmanship. So you're going to really like the experience with Buzz Sawyer and his team. Everything for the outside of your home is available with Sawyer Sunrooms. So go check them out online, locally owned, locally operated. That's Sawyers-sunrooms.com. Sawyers-sunrooms.com, or see them at 8605 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith.
So you informed me that Phil on vacation a little bit this week, and then the back half of the show shows he's going to be doing halftime from Cooperstown, which is kind of a unique setup. You had the 4 guys inducted this weekend. Congrats to Adrian Beltre, Jim Leland, Joe Maurer, and Todd Helton. Even all these years later, Adrian Beltre does not like getting touched on his head. He kind of talked about that a little bit in his conversation with Bob Costas.
What is it with not wanting people to touch your head, the top of your head? What's the deal with that phobia?
I never liked it. I since I was a kid. I never liked it. And I made the mistake to tell one of my teammates once that he did it. I don't know if he just did it for no reason. And I told him, hey, don't do that. I don't like it. And after that, it's like I told him, do it every day because I want you to do it. And then I have teammates that find out and they wanted to just have fun with it.
So if your mom or dad, when you were a little kid, wanted to pat you on the head, nice job, Adrian. That was nice. Yeah. No good.
Not good. By anybody.
By anybody.
My wife, my son, my daughter, nobody.
No one, Tommy. Yeah. No one. He does not like it. I guess that's I don't know what phobia that is, but he is not a fan of that. So there's been many highlights where, like, for example, David Ortiz, Big Papi, intentionally did it in its induction this weekend. Several teammates of his.
If someone's going to drive you nuts, you're on a team or hang out with a group, don't ever tell them what really grinds your gears.
Yeah,
that's all they're going to do. It's what guys do.
It backfired on him a little bit. But I thought that was pretty funny for Ortiz to do that. So that was on the kind of the funny side. On the sentimental side, Jim Leyland had a really passionate ending to his Hall of Fame speech. And I know we've got plenty of baseball fans listening, not just the Arkansas Razorbacks, but MLB fans across the board. Listen to the former Detroit Tigers manager and what you mean to Major League Baseball.
No matter which Hall of Famer you're here to support today or which team you cheer for, your presence is always felt. On your feet in the ninth, with the home team clinging to a one-run lead, turning on your television for the first game of the World Series and seeing 50,000 fans waving towels, hoping and praying that this may be their year. Or a little boy or girl getting their first autograph and scurrying back to the stands to show mom and dad their latest treasure. Ladies and gentlemen, that's you. That's baseball, and this is the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
You can tell how emotional he was getting towards the
He's a lifer,
end
man.
of that speech. Yes, he is. And
I remember him as a kid with the Pirates. It showed him in the dugout smoking cigarettes. Jim Leyland's a lifer.
It's different on that. So, again, only 4 guys. You think about the combination of those 4, 2 guys that played the majority of their career, their entire career. Joe Mauer for the Minnesota Twins, Todd Helton for the Colorado Rockies, and then Beltre went to a couple different teams, but probably most known for his days with the Texas Rangers.
Hey, quick word for Arkansas Golf and Power Sports, the place that when I went to shop for a golf cart, I settled on Easy Go pretty quick. American-made, smooth ride, and I like the fact that this was the deal breaker for me. The parking brake that you got to set so it doesn't roll forward, and you've been in those golf carts. That drives me nuts. With the Easy Go, they got that patented secure parking brake that you don't have to touch, and I absolutely love it. Again, smooth ride and fully customizable with Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Chris and Ben and the team up there can help you with colors. They can help you with sound and lights and custom wheels and tires, custom seats. I had those done with some Razorbacks embroidered into the headset. So you're going to like it. Lithium options are available with 8-year warranties. They are there to take care of you and customize your golf cart for your neighborhood or the golf course. They're in Fayetteville and Little Rock, just off the Garland exit in Fayetteville, on North McConnell, behind the rental place. That's Arkansas Golf and Power Sports at arpowersports.com.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is the game that they're saying national championship. And we're floating in a sea of red.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable only your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Freedom is being able to pee off your back court. Liberty is being able to pee off your front court.
Yes. Franks pulls it back. Surveys. Has plenty of time. Now he unloads. Got a man. Arkansas first down. Arkansas touchdown. Trailing Burks covers 59 yards with a dance at the end. The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Embrace the hog.
I know that's the phrase that a lot of people have been playing around with the last couple days, as have we here on the Morning Rush. But Sam Pittman did have some other things to say at SEC Media Days, including kind of the ever-changing dynamics of recruiting with the transfer portal. We'll jump into what he had to say about that coming up as we keep it going here on Hot Take Monday.
Do you need something powder-coated? You think about painting something that's metal, that's going to be hard to get to when it needs to be painted again, or something you never want to have to worry about rust or corrosion. Powder coating. It's not just a layer of paint. it becomes part of the metal that can withstand chemicals, abrasions, and more. And our friends at River City Coatings in Van Buren can powder coat anything you need. Patio furniture. You got really nice metal patio furniture, powder coated. You'll never have to paint it. You'll never have to worry about it rusting. It'll always look great. They have a variety of colors, whether it's rims on your ATV, side-by-side, your vehicle, brake calipers. A lot of people do that because they want them to stand out. Farm equipment parts, pretty much anything that's metal can be powder coated. And not only is powder coating stronger than paint, it's better for the environment, no drips or oversprays. And over time, the process can even save your investment and save you time as well. No projects too big or small. River City Coatings in Van Buren. You can find them online at rivercitycoatings.com. That's rivercitycoatings.com.
Sometimes what ends up happening is you're going high school. So our goal every year is try to get to 20. Okay, we did not, but we want to try to get to 20 out of high school. The next thing you do is go, okay, how many scholarships do I have? I need 3 O linemen. I need 2 D linemen. I need, and our guys at Arkansas ask me that all the time. They ask me, okay, where are you going to go? There's the next number. And then what you hope you get is a trade for a trade. In other words, you hope that if it's April and you get to, you'd be fine if you don't need anybody else. You'd be fine. Somebody goes in the portal, you trade that position for that position. That's what happened this year. That's where the 8 came in at the 7 at the end, which made that number somewhat larger.
Again, some people made it a big deal that you had more transfer portal players than you did high school players. Transfer portal players are more ready, but like we heard from Hugh Freeze and other coaches this week, that you still have to build your roots from the high school ranks. And we talk about the difficulty of baseball, Tommy, in recruiting, because you have to deal with the draft and the departures there, even if you sign a kid or whatever. But I mean, it's not much easier in football with just the amount of transfers. And you think about the number of players each and every year. It's an astronomical number for football guys that enter the portal.
No, I mean, and baseball I think is still the toughest because you got to deal more with the pro draft than any other sport. Basketball is probably second with the pro draft, but you got a smaller number. Football's the same thing, and I heard 2 different philosophies, from different coaches this week. Hey, if you're chasing in the portal to fill current needs, you're never going to be ahead.
That was Kelly, right? Kelly.
Brian Kelly spoke to that, and I think Kirby Smart spoke to that. But it's easy when you're LSU or Georgia to not be in that boat. So I agree with them from their perch, but from Arkansas's perch, you're always trying to plug and play to fill needs. That's not going to change regardless of who the head coach is as long as the portal exists. So because if you have a player that stands out, the LSUs and the Georgias and the Texases of this conference are going to come after.
I mean, that's a great point, because think about when Traylon Burks back in, I think it was 2020, 2000 and maybe 19. Yeah, 19, because they played Joe Burrow and company. And people were making a huge deal of the fact that him and Ed Ogeron shared words after the game. And like, oh, he's gonna go to LSU because the coach and him had a conversation. He didn't. He stayed there. But I think in some cases it's warranted for a school like Arkansas that doesn't have as many talented players, where a school that is far superior in terms of talent could potentially poach one of your guys. Traylon Burks was not the example because he stayed at Arkansas, had a great junior season, went on to be a first-round draft pick. But I understand why fans and particularly coaches are skeptical and scared, because there doesn't seem to be any punishment resulting in tampering at all. I mean, we see it pretty.
Well, it's our insecurity more than tampering.
Well, I mean, I think that
no, it is.
We're
insecure about everything. We think we're the jealous boyfriend at the bar with a really good looking girlfriend that when another guy talks, we're just losing our mind. And that's exactly, you give the analogy of Burks. We just don't have enough of those pretty girlfriends roaming around.
This is like this the guy
not right now.
It's dated a 3 or 4 the last few years. He finally dates a 9 or 10, and he doesn't want to lose her. And Traylon Burks was that player. He didn't lose her then. I don't know if Arkansas has a player. Landon elected to stay. I was kind of curious what Landon Jackson was going to do in the offseason. If he'd try the NFL route, potentially go to another school, he comes back to Arkansas, and Arkansas is better off for it. But your analogy is accurate, because I do think with not your basketball and your baseball program, but football-wise, that's true.
Yep. And, we just got to quit worrying that every great player is going to leave. It's Sam Pittman just said there. You hope to get a trade there. You know, if you lose a player, in which we've seen some swaps between LSU and Arkansas before, and you just hope those work out. Everybody's looking to improve their NIL situation too, and sometimes just trading sides will do that for the player. Hey, it's Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. See Lee J and Chris and their team at Wheels, because they're going to fix you up. Lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. And we're not talking just any RVs. We're talking Brinkley Model Zs, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels, Grand Design, Forest River, the top brands that you'll find out in the marketplace right now. So if you're looking for a great RV to really enjoy with all the features, all the extras, they've got it at Wheels RV. And again, lifetime warranty with every new RV they sell. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Got our SEC update when we return on the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Arkansas, 80 yards.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
But except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
Tommy, you had a chance to catch up with SEC quarterback.
This video is powered by the pros at
Days. Got a text in here out of the 479 asking for kind of a brief summary on some rule changes this
we
year.
get into that a little more. I don't have all my notes in front of me, but I think the most notable thing we're going to see as fans across college football is they're not calling it a 2-minute warning, but it's a 2-minute timeout at the end of each half. It's a 2-minute warning. So going to have an extra timeout there, gives one more quick TV timeout, gives teams a chance to regroup, and it's a freebie for both teams at the end of a half. So I think that's going to be the most notable thing that we take out of the college football rule changes this year.
Oh, we'll see what that looks like in a crucial situation in conference play. I am very, very intrigued to see how these.
The other big one is the communication in the helmets. So these are a couple of rules that more closely align with professional football. So the quarterback and then somebody on the defense. And I was asking Landon Jackson who would be the one to have it on defense, and he said it's probably going to be someone in the secondary, and he mentioned Hudson Clark's name, but it won't be him, and it won't be a linebacker per se. A lot of teams, it will be a linebacker on defense, but obviously the quarterback on the offensive side will get the play relayed in through a headset in their helmet. So all of these signals, signs, people putting up those shields to keep people from breathing the signals, all that stuff will go away this year on the sideline.
Yeah, there was a little cat and mouse that Jeff Lebby, now Mississippi head coach, was talking about when it came to that. Landon found himself second-team All-SEC, didn't have another selection for Arkansas. The Razorbacks wind up being picked preseason 14th in the league. It just sounds worse, Tommy, because they're not divisions. I mean, it's one thing to get picked 6th, but it sounds so much worse when you're not in divisions based on how things are set up nowadays.
Well, and, now that you got 16 teams, 14 sounds worse. It's just the evolution. All right, no one thinks much of you. Go prove them wrong. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. You had quarterbacks-wise, Jackson Dart did not wind up in the 3 selected quarterbacks. Carson Beck, number 1, Quinn Ewers, number 2, and then at number 3, Jalen Milroe, who's kind of gotten lost a little bit. He had quite an audience that welcomed him at SEC Media Days, but we haven't really mentioned Milroe at all. We've seen what Kalen DeBoer can do with quarterbacks like Michael Penix. Curious to see how much of an expanded game we could see from Jalen Milroe in Tuscaloosa.
Great athlete, good runner of the football. We saw that in Fayetteville a couple years ago when he stepped in, but in a backup role. But question is, can he throw the football at a level to be an all SEC quarterback? We're going to find out.
Georgia at 1, Texas at 2, Alabama comes in at number 3, Ole Miss at 4, LSU at 5, Missouri at 6, Tennessee at 7, Oklahoma at 8. Tommy, we were talking about like A&M's at 9, Auburn's at 10. I mean, those fans aren't going to be happy if they wind up 9th or 10th in the league, but you only have so many spots to be at the top of the leaderboard.
The math is tough, and this is going to be, I think it's easy to say it's going to be the hardest SEC championship to win is this year, and they're only going to get more difficult. Mm-hmm. So I've kind of got the feeling that Georgia may be a step above everybody at this point. Now, we're still 38 days from Arkansas's first game, 40 days from a lot of people's first games. Let's not get too carried away with absolutes and opinions, but I could certainly see Georgia going 11-1, and then a bunch of other teams knotted up at 9-3.
Would love to see Clemson upset the Bulldogs in week 1, and just to kind of see what shakeup that would have for that roster. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Georgia at least wins by 2 or 3 touchdowns in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but I don't want Georgia to dominate. I want there to be like 2 10-2 teams, but I like you. I mean, I think Georgia is well in position to not just win but dominate. I mean, they could win 3 of 4 if they win this year. There's no Nick Saban standing in Kirby Smart's way. There's Lane Kiffin, there's Steve Sarkisian, there's Brian Kelly, but there's no Nick Saban. So this is Smart's league until it isn't.
Well, and if that's true, then it has to start with him winning the SEC championship and being presumably the 1 or the 2 seed. It would be either him or Ohio State under conventional thinking. That would be the 1 and 2 seed in the playoff. If that's true, then you can't let someone else win the conference this year.
Which 2 years, I believe it's 2 years ago, maybe it's 3, was an incredible college football playoff semifinal. Yeah, it was 2 years ago because Stroud and Harrison were playing. That was an unbelievable semifinal matchup. Unfortunately, the championship was a dud as Georgia just stomped TCU. And I'm curious, again, we're a long way off from second weekend of December, or third weekend, whatever it is, the college football playoff, what that looks like for these opening round games, because we have yet to have a year where you've had a great college football playoff semifinal and championship. Now we'll have quarterfinals, of course, with the new revamped setup. I don't know if everyone will be good games. Just hoping for more good games than laughers.
Well, and I'll be interested to see, because I think the power brokers and the commissioners had an understanding of what maybe the future of the Pac-12 was going to be when some of these when some of the format of this playoff was set. But I expect changes with how the seeding's done, the fact that conference champions automatically get one of the top 4 seeds, the highest ranked conference champions. I think some of that will get some change moving forward just because the structure of the leagues and the number of power conferences. I think we'll get through this next round of realignment, if there is one, with the thoughts that the ACC may be in peril with Clemson and Florida State leaving. If that's indeed, if that comes to pass, I think the playoff committee has to really look at, and the commissioners that oversee it have to look at how they structure this 12-team playoff.
And that is your SEC update this morning. As always, brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
Yeah, cool down with hot deals at Burton Pools and Spas during the summer clearance event. High-quality above-ground pools installed for just $57 a month. Enjoy up to $1,000 off on in-stock Doughboy above-ground pools. And if you're thinking about an in-ground pool, stunning fiberglass models start at under $48,000 right now. Plus, it's a great time to buy your hot tub for the upcoming fall, even after workouts this summer. Savings up to $7,300 right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, they don't just build pools and install hot tubs. They build long-term relationships. Go to burtonpools.com or see them in Fort Smith, Springdale, and now in Greenland.
So, played a couple clips from the scene in Cooperstown this weekend at the MLB 2024 Hall of Fame induction. There was one that I had not played just yet. Joe Mauer, longtime Minnesota Twin catcher, had many things to say, including a conversation that he had with Bobby Bowden back in the day. People forget Joe was an outstanding quarterback coming out of high school. Grew up in the St. Paul area, and it was pretty cool for him to end up in as a Minnesota Twin. But what some of you don't know is he was heavily recruited, again, quarterback-wise, including by Bobby Bowden.
Getting to know Coach Bowden was a tremendous honor, and I'll never forget the story when I was on my official visit down there. I was in his office, and obviously I had baseball and that option, and he told me, he said, I'm going to still go out there and get the best quarterbacks available because you might not be here this fall.
Right.
And I in turn told him, I said, you can go get whoever you want. If I'm here this fall, my intention is to win this job, and a job like this isn't handed over. But if I'm here this fall, I'm going to compete and try to win this job.
Unfortunately for Bobby Bowden, he did not wind up as a Florida State Seminole. Also was added, apparently said, I hope you can't hit a curveball too. And we found out that Joe Mauer could definitely hit a curveball and wind it up. But some of these, like when you look at some of these athletes, and also for an example, who was I just blanked on his name, Tommy. Who was the Tennessee Volunteer that got inducted this weekend? Todd Helton, excuse me. He played quarterback in Tennessee. I mean, you got these two-sport athletes, and we're just not seeing that as much anymore. But for Mauer, who's heavily recruited both from a college baseball standpoint, MLB standpoint, and then Helton played a little bit in Knoxville. Some of these guys you remember back in the day, we always think of Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson as the most notable two-sport athletes. I mean, another two examples from this weekend.
Key word there is athlete. That's the key word in what you're saying. Two sport, three. A lot of these guys, they focus in on one in the end, and they have a professional opportunity. But, the reality is, they could probably pick up a golf club and in a short amount of time be pretty good. They could probably get on a volleyball court and be pretty competitive. Basketball, whatever it is, that they're just blessed with great hand-eye coordination and athletic skills. So athlete's the key part of that.
Yeah, Xander Schauffele picked up a golf club this weekend, ended up winning the Open. Was there a guy you wanted to win over him, or were you happy he won his second major of the year?
Schauffele was on my list. I would like to have seen Justin Thomas, play a little better. I guess Sunday morning Billy Horschel was the guy I would root for. I'm always going to root for the Americans. I thought Justin Rose's story of having to qualify even to get into the Open Championship with the career he's had, the championships he's won, the gold. I believe he was the gold medalist at the last Olympics and the first gold medalist in golf. But he still had to go out and work through the process of qualifying even to get in the field, and came up just short. But that was a fun story.
Yeah, so you had that. You had the Olympics coming up, but really, Tommy, we've got basically a month until any significant sporting event that will draw us in, which is this is kind of the time of the year we talk about. We do have fall camp coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday, I believe that's correct.
Yeah. And you got NFL training camps opening up. You've got, you'll have preseason games where you'll get to see some of those guys. I'm mildly interested.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a fantasy football guy, you'll start watching maybe some of that. But the Olympics will tide us over for a few weeks. So
see if the
I'm ready. I've been ready for the Olympics to get here for a little while.
Yeah, I know the USA basketball. We've talked about that a little bit this morning. A 1-point victory over South Sudan, and hopefully that is not a sign of things to come for them in the actual games that matter. I'm of the belief again that I don't think it's just an opinion. I think it's pretty warranted that international basketball has closed the gap on the United States. This is not 1992 anymore. I just hope it's still wide enough where USA is able to take the gold, because that would be a disappointment, as you referred to on the show, if they're not able to.
And I don't have the list here, but there'll be some Razorbacks and they won't all be on the American track team, but you'll see some in the track and field in those games in the Olympics that will be competing.
I want to say there's 13 ties to Arkansas, the state, or the Razorback track and field program with the Olympics. So it's just, again, it's remarkable how that program has had success, not only collegiately, but in the Olympics-wise over the years, headed up by initially John McDonnell, and now others have taken over since then with both the men and the women's track and field program.
That's what makes it tough. Do you root for the Razorback who's representing their home country, or do you root for the American who may not be a Razorback?
That's a good point.
I don't know.
A Florida Gator or something like that.
It gets me a little bit conflicted,
I don't blame you on that. Well, it's been a good Hot Take Monday here this morning.
Yep, Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. See Lee J. Chris and their team. Get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Our conversation with Brandon Marcel on our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Just search, hit that line. We'll talk to you at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at